All right, well, here we are. I have a question for you. Is Elon Musk coming after your Social Security check? Kind of feels that way if you read the news. You're watching YouTube as I am, and you're seeing all the headlines saying that Social Security Administration is in dire, dire trouble. I did a video, and I'll link to it at the end, about DOGE. And if you hadn't seen the video, I came up with something I thought was pretty unique. I renamed DOGE to Dismissing Our Government Employees. Obviously, the name is not that, but it's the Department of Government Efficiency. I think the Department of Government Efficiency has got Social Security in its sights, and it's got a lot of people scared. I'm not scared. I don't think you should be scared either. I can tell you right now that those of us who are receiving benefits will continue to receive benefits no matter what happens, what the depth of the cuts are. Social Security's claim to fame since 1935 is that they've never missed a payment. Now, that doesn't mean that you missed your payment because it was paper check and the mail screwed it up or it got lost. They have never missed sending out a payment. And I don't see that stopping anytime soon. But the concern, as I laid out in our last video, was for those who are deciding whether or not to take Social Security, to apply for benefits. Because there is a manual process involved. If you are not computer savvy, and I doubt that that's you because you're watching a YouTube video, but you know people who are a little bit older, a little bit freaked out by technology, and they're just not comfortable using technology, they'd much rather go to the office, sit down with a human being, fill in the required paperwork, and be done with it. Well, because of the personnel cuts, that option might not be available soon. And if somebody is not computer savvy and doesn't have an account on SSA.gov, which I have always encouraged you to do for two reasons. One is you're still able to apply for Social Security benefits online for retirement benefits. It's my understanding that disability and SSI, supplementary social supplementary income, you're not able to apply online. So this video is really for those who are planning on or thinking about taking Social Security retirement benefits, whether it's early or you're qualified right now as under your full retirement age. I'd suggest that you do it. Only because I'm not 100% sure that some of the changes that are being proposed will not impact your ability to get the check that you're probably counting on. But those of us who have already claimed and have already been receiving checks, we're not to worry. So if that's you, you can click off now. Bye-bye, but thank you very much for stopping by. I don't want you to. I want you to stick around because I think you're also the type of person who's pretty savvy, doesn't buy into a lot of the hype and the scare tactics that we see, not just on YouTube. They're all over the place with crazy thumbnails of people, things like that. I just not a big fan of. But the news reports, if you don't use critical thinking, will lead you to believe that Elon Musk is going to throw your Social Security check in the trash and then push you over a cliff when it comes to receiving your rightfully earned retirement benefits. Not necessarily true. So I wanted to talk to you about that because I want you to have a little bit of peace, knowing that, yeah, I said this the other day, there have to be cuts, there will be cuts, there are cuts. But I firmly believe that these cuts are going to help us reset the whole system. It can't continue on the way it is. You and I both know that there's just not enough people working to support those who will be on Social Security. Being the baby boomer generation, you know, we were the largest cohort to receive or to apply for Social Security benefits. Statistically, there's 10,000 of us turning 65 every day. So what does that mean to you? Well, when you're talking to your family and friends, tell them not to worry. It will be painful, but I don't think it's going to be permanent pain. I don't think that the things that DOGE and this administration are planning to do are going to be permanently harmful to people over the age of 60, 65. For two reasons. One is just can't be done. And the second reason is because we're probably one of the largest voting blocs. And Social Security has always been the third rail of politics. This is the first administration that's actually touched the third rail and has not died yet. Another thing I want to share with you is we've been through two Social Security commissioners in pretty rapid succession. They were both, well, Martin O'Malley, who was the former governor of Maryland, he came out recently. He's a former Social Security director. He was an interim director, I believe. And he threw the scare into everybody, saying, I think that Social Security is in deep trouble. I think cuts are going to be made. I think people are going to lose their benefits. You know, it's just going to be horrible. Well, if that's all you heard, and you heard it from a former commissioner of Social Security, then you're like, oh my word, what does he know that I don't know? Well, let me tell you what you don't know and nobody is talking about, is that the newly nominated and yet to be confirmed Social Security administrator is, and I can't remember his last name, but you know, I should have wrote it down, but I'm horrible at names. But I looked up his background. He is the chairman, the CEO of a company called Fiserv. And you probably don't know who Fiserv is unless you're in the financial services industry. But they are one of the leading technology companies serving the financial services industry. That's banks, insurance companies, large brokerage companies, thrift savings, credit unions. This is the backbone that these companies use to manage their systems. And so what has been the biggest complaint about Social Security? It's still using COBOL and DOS and all those programs that I didn't even study in school because they were antiquated back then. But that program that Social Security is using is too old to handle what's happening. So what the Trump administration is thinking is, let's bring in somebody who really is not a Social Security Administration expert, number one. Number two, who is not a politician, but has damn deep experience in creating systems specifically for financial services companies so that they can run more efficiently and they can run more profitably and they can serve their clients with excellence. So I'm excited about that, but nobody's talking to you about that, but I am. And forgive me for, I had it written down, but I left it in my car. The guy's last name, I think it's I don't want to say Bongino because that's not it. Bagnino or something like that. Look him up. You know, just Google Trump's nomination for Social Security Administration Commissioner. And look up his background, look up his company, and understand that that's the type of person we need to come into an agency that is completely antiquated, that is overwhelmed, and that is going to be suffering major setbacks because of the loss of personnel. But when you bring in somebody that knows how to change the systems, I don't believe that that's going to be a long-term problem. Yes, there's going to be short-term pain. I'm not dismissing that. That's why I'm recommending that if you're on the fence and you have the ability and you've been thinking about claiming Social Security benefits right now, you may want to do it. You'll be in the company of myself and hundreds of thousands of others who at 62 made the decision to receive Social Security benefits. And I do not regret that decision one bit. You've probably heard this story before, but for those of you who are new, welcome. I was laid off twice in 18 months, in 2022 and 2023, after moving to beautiful Pensacola, having a nice remote position, earning over $100,000 a year as a recruiter. Isn't that ironic? And then I took another job in my former industry, in the financial services industry, and they let me go after 9 months of, they just couldn't make any money, opening a brand new office. I was the old guy making the most money. Sayonara. Wasn't 62 yet. Did what most people in our situation do. I got my resume out. It was already updated because I was a recruiter, so I knew to do that. But I gussied it up. Man, I'll tell you what. You would have thought I was the second coming after reading my resume. And I spent hours upon hours on Indeed and LinkedIn, calling my network, doing everything I could just to get a conversation going about another job. And I am in good company, I'll tell you that. I didn't get any interviews. The interviews I got, because I was licensed for life, health, and accident insurance, were all, hey, come sell life insurance for our company and make $1 million a year without working very hard. Those were the job offers I was getting. And so I decided not to do that. I did take a job selling investment software, cold calling, which I hate to do. I lasted a month doing that. I was making 300 cold calls a day to people like you and I who are day trading and looking for an edge. And that's what this software promised. We'll give you an edge and you'll be able to time and beat the market. And my first month on the phone, I did pretty good. I was one of the top people. But even my wife, I was working at home, would hear me on the phone and just say, I can't believe you can do this. I don't understand. How do you do this? And I'm like, I don't know, but we need the money. And it was the day before Thanksgiving. I was taking a shower, and I just realized I can't do this anymore. So I quit. Then I took another job, selling insurance for 100% commission. And then I just realized, you know what? Everybody wants me to put in the effort, the time, the money to make, the American dream, make a lot of money. They have no risk. I have all the risk. I put all the skin in the game. Yeah, they're going to support me, give me all the software, give me training, rah-rah seminars and all that. But at the end of the day, you don't sell, you don't eat. And I'm too old of a dog in this world to try to eat other dogs. Just not something I wanted to do. So I just pasted it together, doing driving gigs. As you know, I drive part-time for pizza company Domino's down here, maybe 15 hours a week. I enjoy that. I also do, my brother owns a business up in Boston. I help him with his books. I've got another friend of mine he and I are talking about another opportunity that sounds pretty intriguing. And ultimately, I'd like to have this channel monetized. Who knows? But I'm the type of person who is not going to just lay around and say, woe is me. Everybody's got my future in control. Only God has my future in control. But I'm not going to lay in bed and say, okay, God, can you drop some money out of the sky? Because it says clearly in Scripture, if you don't work, you don't eat. And if you haven't seen Popsie Guy, I like to eat. So that's really what I want to talk to you today. I'm so glad you came out. I hope the wind is, I'll re-listen to this video and hope it's good. Hope you stuck with me. But I wanted to give you some hope. Don't listen to the headlines. Don't listen to the fear mongers. Yes, there's going to be pain, and I'm talking specifically Social Security, but be prepared. And the other thing too is if you're over 60 and you're working a job right now, be prepared to be let go. Hey, it's happened to me. It's going to happen to you. I don't care what you say. I don't care if you say, I've been with this company 30 years. They can't do it without me. I'm the best thing going. Those are all the reasons they want to get rid of you. You're the highest paid. You're coming from a culture of we do it this way, and they don't need you anymore. And it's going to come a day when you don't even see it coming. You're going to be blindsided. The call from HR or a Zoom meeting or something is going to come, and you're going to be like, well, what's all this about? And your HR representative, your boss, your supervisor, somebody's going to say, we've had to make some tough decisions. We're making some cuts. We want to let you know that you're part of the cuts. And you're going to receive X amount of weeks severance. We're going to keep you on insurance for X amount of weeks, and then you can transition to COBRA. And guess what? The day after you sign that agreement, they forgot you ever lived. So get used to that. Get ready for it. That's true. That is happening. I don't care who's president, but Popsie Guy's bones are just creaking, knowing that that is something that you better pay attention to, because I've been through it. It ain't pretty. So anyway, enough of that. Thank you very much for spending time with me today. I'm hopeful that this means something to you, that you can be a little bit more relaxed when it comes to Social Security, that you'll take my advice, and if you are thinking about drawing on Social Security even before your full retirement age, now is the best time to do it. because we don't know what the changes are coming, but the changes are coming. But even if you can wait it out, I think the whole system is going to be a heck of a lot better. And it could take 18, 24 months. I have no idea. But I just have faith that things will be better in that whole administration, because they can't get any worse. All right, well, listen, you have a wonderful weekend. And this is Popsie Guy signing off, saying I'll see you in the next one.